Hello everybody, it's me, Mumu. I'm back again, and hope you're having a happy Sunday, because today's topic might not be happy for some of you guys. So the question that we all have to ask is Meso making videos really bad for MapleStory or any game in general? And most obvious response, in my opinion, is no, it is not bad. And before everybody starts freaking out and saying how I'm some leader of economy ruiner, like a game ruiner, like no, I'm not trying to ruin any game. I'm just trying to teach people, just like Salt is, other YouTube content creators for MapleStory. We're just trying to educate people, help them out so that they can have Mesos in this game. And some of you are taking it the wrong way. Before we talk about the rest of this, there's two videos that I believe would be very helpful for the people that are upset or people who just want more understanding. And I'll show you right here. So the first one is by Extra Credits, and it's called MMO Economics. And I'll talk about this afterwards too. It's a very beautifully done video. I love their content and the way that they teach other people. It's a very good channel. And as well as this video called The Economic Machine by Ray Dalio. This is a very good, well-made video. It's about 30 minutes. I know it's kind of long, but it talks about how economy works and the fundamentals if it was ideal. But watching these two will greatly help understand how a game economy works. So pause these two. So what do these two videos basically talk about is, well, if there's a need for this from Ray Dalio's how the economic machine works, if there's a need, people are going to go out there and find a way to supply that need. So for example, back when I made a Daisy making video, there was a need for people to get back into FD. Therefore, I found no problem in trying to find a solution to this need. And Red Daisies was one of them. And I get that there are people upset because it was ruining their best way of making Mesos. And I get it. I think there's a reason why that a good amount of people are upset is because personally their best method is being compromised. And it makes total sense why I voice their frustration is at the YouTubers, because we publicized how to make Mesos off of these methods. My response to that would be, there's so many ways to make Mesos, guys. There's like so many ways. That's like if in the real world someone got upset because you were selling a cup of coffee and then someone else came along and sold a cheaper cup of coffee, therefore mitigating your profits or competing against you, essentially. There's so many ways to make Mesos. For example, back when I think Salt a week ago made a world bossing video, and it was very excellent. The way that he was able to get people to even start this kind of wave of killing bosses is awesome. Like that was kind of cool. The issue was it technically did drive the price of Obsidian Essence and Onyx down, but again, I don't see any issue with that because in the real world, the markets react the same way. If there's going to be news about a certain stock, you're not going to be upset that it plummeted because of these news came out. So if like Apple like suddenly dropped in 20 points, you're not going to go to that person's house and be like, hey, you ruined Apple stock for me, yada, yada, yada. It doesn't work that way. And secondly, Meso making methods are only as effective as the number of people who are currently doing it. So for example, if you look right now, I personally was tracking all of the prices of certain specific targeted items that I thought were of interest. And Chaos Onyx was definitely one of them, Metacells, Obsidian Essence. These were kind of like the top 4 in terms of catalysts. And there's also dungeon items too, like Red Daisy, Rustic Keys. Rustic Keys is more of a gemstone thing, but that's where I categorized it. And if a person was to, and I'll probably put this out as well, if you were to look at the price of Red Daisies over time, it doesn't go very far. It doesn't dip below a certain point, and that is exactly my argument, is because only a certain amount of people were there to provide a supply of Red Daisies for this game. So if people moved on to a better method, then it should be completely fine. There should be a gradient of Meso making methods. And just because one is publicized doesn't necessarily mean that it's ruining the game. If anything, what's really ruining this game are Meso bots, like people who are making bots that are farming Mesos, because they are inherently printing a lot of money in a really inorganic and exceedingly fast way. It's because they're doing it like 24/7. So yeah, so basically that aside, the 2 points that I have to make is like, one, there's all the other methods out there. And if you take the time to think about, hey, like if no one is focused on Red Daisies right now, and I'll show you what the price of it just because of the recent change of posting requirements. So you go Red Daisy, they're like 4.4K. So that's like roughly the price that I claimed that to making about 2 to 3 mil. This is great for beginners. This is not great for me personally because there's obviously better methods, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But my point is there's a Mesos making method for everyone, and there's going to be a way for people to either move on from that or continue doing that method. It really just depends on the person. Secondly, there's so many methods. If you think about that everyone's rushing to do the same thing, and this is probably a life lesson in general, if everybody's rushing to do the same to one thing, are you really to be that successful if legitimately if everybody was doing it? No, you have to find other options where you can be leveraging your value or your skills. So that's why even though a specific Mesos making method might be ruined in the moment, I honestly believe that it's still viable because one, we're not breaking the terms and conditions, two, we're not doing anything malicious or evil, and there's people out there that are like legitimately trying to mess with the market, like trying to post a certain item one at a time so that way we're tricking the bots. Like, now that's definitely like market manipulation, and that in real life has some problems with that, but I'm getting too far ahead of myself. So yeah, what are so I guess, so yeah, that's basically all my points. I guess to put the cherry on top of this video, I'm gonna talk about 3 ways that you can make Mesos in this game still. So one of them is definitely the Red Daisy one. It's super easy. And again, it's not for everybody because some people don't prefer to just kind of AFK, gathering the Red Daisies. Like not everybody enjoys doing that. Some people do. So that's for them. They're able to supply a service. Good for them. I think Joshi Prime came up with this one. So this Aurora Lab, yeah, I think his name is Joshi Prime. You can find him on Twitch, I believe. So Joshi Prime came up with this location. It's really good for rusted keys because they spawn pretty frequently. I think I've noticed that they spawn more frequent than any other map, and the spots are a lot closer, and you can see them a little bit better. And he claimed that it was about like a very poor RNG would be about 40 keys an hour. So at like 60 to 70K, that's about 2 to 3 mil-ish is what he had said. So this one's pretty good too. I personally do a little bit of the key farming and epic pet farming, which is my last and final way of making Mesos, and that's honestly probably the best way so far. Unfortunately, the downside of pet farming or epic pet farming is you don't really see much progress. A lot of your initial investments go to kind of just paying for the traps and stuff, therefore getting blues and greens to pay for that anyway. So it's kind of not really making Mesos for a while. It's kind of like a dead investment until you finally get a purple pet, like my guildie did. He got like 3 of them. He got like 2 in the time that I started catching them, and I still haven't gotten one. So there you go. So those are the three pretty good ways. The reason why epic rusted keys are good, even though they only sell for 70K, is potentially you could find a B4 key. So you can also do some RNG with that. You can kind of mix your strategy of how you want to make Mesos in this game, and I think that's the beauty of this game. And a lot of people are kind of killing that vibe. I think a few people are like kind of ruining that for the rest of us, and for everybody else who has been supportive of me, Salt, and other people who have been making content for you guys and helping you guys giving tutorials on how to be better at this game. Thank you so much for your support, and keep being awesome. So yeah, that's all I really had to discuss for today. Hopefully I didn't upset too many of you. If you have any questions or anything that I said was wrong in your opinion, go ahead and talk about it in the comment section. I'll definitely respond to it. And yeah, that's all we have for today. Hopefully Salt will come back and make more videos. And yeah, hope you have a good day. Mumu out.